Pop the camera down. Welcome. I'm doing a very quick live one. It'll be a live welcome, and we are going to do, well, I am going to do the Mrs. Floof panel. So if you're on, say g'day, let me know you're here. If you're on YouTube, you can fast forward, rewind, and all that sort of stuff when I post it up, of course. And don't forget to put in your likes and subscribe. So I actually have been drawing and for many years, but these are drawn by my son, and I've had them printed onto fabric, and they are as cute as a button. So that's one, and then you turn it over, and that's the other. $15 for your panel, which is a 2, which is pretty good. And these are in stock. They are on the website, so I'll be popping that link in the description on YouTube. Once I had the panel, then I needed to actually cut them in half, cut the panel in half, not the pictures, the panel. So I had 2 individual ones. So there's one and another. And with these, you can see I have done some painting. I've painted the skin and I painted the flowers. The flowers are way too small for me to applique. I'm not that person. I'm not doing that. So I'm done the skin because I want everything that I'm going to do to be going on over the top of what I've painted. So I've painted the skin there. You can paint it any color you like. You can do it apricot. I did a pink because I thought that was cute. So that's what I'm going with. Now I have set my machine up for free motion quilting. So the feed dogs are down, the stitch tension is tightened up to about 5 or 6, and also I have top thread is black and bobbin is black. It is just a standard poly cotton, which will be fine. Even poly is fine. And the paints that I used to do the faces on these are the fabric paint set, 21 colors. I used the pink and the white, and just made darker and lighter versions of that, yet 21 colors for $30. So that will also be in the link. I turn mine upside down like this so I can see them. That's just how I roll. So that is those. G'day, Lynn. How are you, honey? So that is what I've used. So I've painted them, and I've done that first. I've let it settle, like dry, and then of course I have ironed it. Once I've ironed it, I'm then going to use a iron-on interfacing, which is this. As you can see, it's just a medium to lightweight interfacing. Iron on to the back like that. Turn it on and iron it on. G'day Naomi and Rita, how are you guys? And now that is iron on to the back. So I have done all those steps prior to today so that I could just do the stitching today. And Rita, I think I said hello, didn't I? I might be repeating myself now. So both of them have had their little faces and skin painted. You can see. G'day Helen, how are you, honey? So that's what I've done. So at the moment I could, everything else that I'm going to actually do is applique. I could still do the little cotton reel as painted, either, it doesn't matter. I'll just decide when I get there as to how small it is and how much I can be bothered doing. So that is those 2 ready to go. So the next thing we need to do is pick color of fabric, and I'll just show you this one. I used scraps. So scraps are really good for this project. This is the large butterfly one. You can buy this panel already drawn out, like already printed panel ready to go. All you have to do is applique it or paint it and stitch it, or both. And this is the large one. They're $18, and I do have a smaller version and they are $10. So color wise and scraps, let me go and grab them. Okay, so we've got lots of bits and pieces. Ends and bolts I've obviously had that I've used, and yeah, so I'm going to choose through these. So we got to figure out what we're going to do first. Just put that over there. So just sit that there. I'm going to grab one of the panels, not both, obviously. So we just start with one. And I'm going to choose, and I'll be reckoning that it's going to be easier to do the hair around here and the hat first and then work into the dress. So of course she's going to have pink hair. We wouldn't have it any other way. Would we have it any other way? We could do it. I suppose we'd give her green hair or grey, black. I think a pink would be the better. That's sort of apricot-y pink. Yeah, g'day Carolyn. There's plenty of colours there to choose from. I'm thinking maybe that for her hair. Give her something, or if I find a darker one, if I've got a darker one that's big enough, that won't be. She could have blue hair. Could give her blue hair. Oh, so these are the things that you're going to be deciding as to what you're going to do. You know, like you can decide as you're going, or you can sit there and work it all out beforehand and then go into it. Me, I'm a little bit of a by the seat of your pants kind of chick, so I'm going to do it. Maybe we'll go pink and blue because, you know, why not? And that can be her hair. Yeah, I like that. I'll go in the darker pink area. So obviously I have to get this to this. So how am I doing that? Well, I need to have it on this side. I also need to have a glue of some sort, or I pin it, one or the other. You can also cut it down to smaller pieces, which does make it easier. So I'm just going to cut, rather than having a big piece, cut a smaller piece out. Pop that there. Make sure all the black threads are gone. Sometimes you might need an iron handy, by the way, just near you. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to probably stitch all around these lines here to probably to there, to little curls that she's got here. So I'm going to do that, and I'm moving it so I've got the majority of that darker pink area over the top of the hair. You can pin it down or you can glue. I just used a basting glue. It's got fluff on it, of course, because it's glue. So just a So Easy basting glue. Place a couple of things there. If you notice, I'm not putting it near the stitch line. I'm sort of keeping it away. Keep that close. Now, it's going to be hard for you guys to see, just because of positioning of the camera, but I'm turning this over and I can see from the back, I can see the lines. Let me just see if I can show you. So see how I can see the lines? So I'm going to sew on those lines, and you've got to just make sure that you close the whole area. You can't leave open bits. So I have to stitch all the way around these areas. I have got black thread in there, and sorry, I'm just going to move my needle over, and the needle's in the down position. I'm putting my gloves on. I'm going to try and see if I can move this camera so that you guys can get a better picture. So I can't zoom in, it won't let me. I tried it, it won't let me. But all I want you to do is stitch all the way around these lines, and I'm going to do that now. Oh, that's a bit slow, I'll speed her up. Okay, so I've just got to do a little bit of detail in here. And then this one. And I'll show you what I've done. Coolies. So that's what I've done. So I've done the curl on the front of her hair, and this, I was about to do that crosshatch there, but that needs to be done after the hat's on, so I've stopped that. So then I push the machine away and I sit here and I trim off any loose threads, any little loops or knots or anything like that. I trim it all off, get rid of all those little bits. And I do that each time just to make sure that they're gone, because they can look a little bit messy. So I just get rid of them. All right, just have a moment. There we go. Okay. And then what I'm going to do, what color thread do you use? I'm using black thread top and bottom. I want the lines to be black. You could make it a color, like you could have blonde hair and blonde, you know, sort of blondie brown thread. That's entirely up to you. Me personally, I just want to go black. I'll keep it nice and simple. And then I'm going to go around here and cut around about 1/8 of an inch away from the outside stitch. I do it as neat as I can. Sometimes I've got to go in a couple of times. These scissors do help because they get fairly close, but you sort of got a little bit of control. You do have to be careful not to cut this, but I'll guarantee you, you'll do it at least once in your applique process. Yeah, that one there, I'll cut around that. So if you make a boo-boo like I have with that, I've just cut around it because the next lot of applique, or the next lot of fabric, will actually cover that, so I'm not too worried about it. And if you did notice with the stitching, it's not even, it's not pretty and neat, it's quite messy, and I'm okay with that because I want it to look sketchy and creative and not perfect. I just, you know, it's overrated really. Perfect is very overrated. So I'm getting there, nearly done. I need the these scissors, honestly, they are the best thing, Rita. I can pop some in your packet thing I've got out the back. I think I've got some fabric there waiting for you. So yeah, I can. They are brilliant, honestly. Oops, nearly dropped that mouse. So now I've cut that out. How cool does that look? Awesome, awesome. And that wasn't very hard, was it? I mean, it was just literally around there, and then I went around these. Now, if you make a mistake and come off the line, don't freak out, because once this is on here, no one knows where those lines are at all. So if you go off the line, it looks a little bit, you know, it doesn't look the same, or, you know, it's not as perfect as you think it is. You can just leave it. Don't unpick it, just leave it, because no one's going to know. But how cute does that look? And she's got pink hair. So now I'm going to do this lot behind, and then I'll do that one there, and then I'll come across here and do this. Yeah, I'll do her hair. That's her shirt, actually, so I won't do that one. I'll do this one and her little curl, that hair and that little curl. So that one there, I might wait until I've done her top and do it after, because I want it to go over the top of the top. So This one and this one I'm going to do now, and I've still got that same piece. I haven't changed anything. That's the same piece I cut out before. I've got a little bit of darker color here, so let's utilize it. And I might actually go, might put that there. So get your glue. Even UHF glue or whatever it is, the kids glue, you know, that the kids use for paper adhesive, you can use that as well. So and I have gone, g'day Joan. It is so cute, isn't it? Hi Liz. So I have actually gone back over this line again. So that's 4 times I've stitched on that one. And so I can close it, because if I just stop here, it's going to be open. I need to close it, and you'll see why when I turn it over. So if I don't close it, it would have been open along here, and that would have looked really weird. So we get rid of those little threads. They're probably your hardest part, is getting rid of those little threads. They give you the irrits. If you don't do a cut off, you can get rid of, like, you can pull them up much easier. But I'm being lazy and doing a cut off, which means it creates more work later. Okay, now again, and the smaller the area you've got to trim around, the harder it is, just FYI. So this is a little bit fiddlier, but you know, just patience. Just go around. Looks like a funny looking arrow. And just around. Now when I put on the interfacing, it's a medium interfacing, so it's fairly light, but it's just enough that if I need to get a bit of, like, to get a bit of stability in it, it's just enough for that. You'll find that the more you handle it, the more likely it's come away. That's okay. You can always get the iron and come back and throw the iron back on it. Don't stress over it. It's no big deal. So there we are. We've done that little one. Now this is actually her shirt sleeve right here. I can see that's a shirt, and that's her little curl. So I need to put the shirt in first and then the curl. Let's give her a blue. So this is a part of the sewing tools range, so I reckon that's going to just be nice. So I'll do that one. I don't need a huge amount, do I? Just cut in. What do I need? Probably just about that for the sleeve. And I'm going to put that over the top of there, just like that. Glue first. And you can have it so you've got the little lines there, which I might do. Hand on it, like that. Turn her over, bring your machine in. Put up, slide her under. Lift up to make sure you haven't got any turned corners, because that's the most annoying part. And I'm just putting my neck. You'll notice too I'm using batik. Obviously, you know I love batik, and there's a few reasons why. One of them is because they don't really fray like a normal fabric. So doing raw edge applique, which is one of my favorite to do, is to have a raw edge. So if I was to have like a normal cotton fabric or a digital fabric, it will fray. So you need to have it as a batik. Well, it's better as a batik. You can use normal fabrics as well, but it's better as a batik just for the fraying factor. So now I've done that, I can now do her little curl. So I find that bit of fabric that I was cutting from. Oh, look, it's got that flower there. Look, there's a flower there. I'm going to make sure that that sits somewhere in her curl there. So it's like a fussy cutting without fussy cutting. So I'm going to cut that little bit of excess off, and this one. Put it in my hand, turn it over. It's just sitting in my hand. Foot up. And put it under there. Now, I've just done that around the face bit. I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to come around here where I can see. So if I hadn't turn it, I'm sort of working behind. I can't really see, so I turn it, and that's the beauty of free motion quilting or any kind of free motion stitching. And I'm going to follow the lines around here, making sure to leave the gap for her arm, obviously, because, you know, I'm going to chop her arm off. See, I have done that little curl there. Turn her over and trim off your fluffy bits. Any hairy bits have got to go. So now we're going to do, now this is like a little collar thing, like here. So she's got the V-neck. I'm going to simplify it a little bit and just have a round thing, and then just follow that little doodah there. But I'm going to do the actual top underneath first. Okay, so first things first, I've got to figure out where I'm going. So I'll make sure I've got the fabric in the right position. I need to come down here, around, up, across there and back. All right, I can see where I've got to go. I've nutted it out, so off I go. So again, even though I had to go around things, I've made sure I've made a complete circle with it. Like there's no open area. Turn her over and we're going to trim around. So that is that part of the top there. I do have to go in here and do that little bow tie thing, and I'm going to do that in the grey. So I only need a little bit. Actually, I could do it in the pink. Got a little bit of that there. Do that. That's a little bow tie. Now I need to do this side, which is, so we need one that's going to fill in her shoulder and the bodice. So I'm just giving it a little bit more room. Make sure that that covers that area, which it does. Oops, it does. Oh, sticky fingers now. Alright, so if you're using fabrics that are cotton fabrics that are 100% cotton, obviously, but are one-sided, so they don't have, like boutiques have the same, pretty much both sides, then yeah, you need to have the right side facing up, just FYI. So that's her little top. So the top underneath, it's there. And then now I'm going to do that hair. So I go back to my hair colour. That won't be big enough. It's this one. Quite a good size. So I've got this nice dark bit here, so we'll use that bit so it matches in with the other. Do you satin stitch it to cover the raw bits? No. No, that's the reason for it. It's meant to be raw edge so that it gives it that sort of tactile sort of look to it. So she's pretty damn cute so far, just saying. I'm a bit excited. Next one we're going to do is this part of the dress and then that part of the dress. I could keep going with this blue in here and put lighter patches on it, light patches, and then do a light pink. I think I'll do that. Yeah. All right, so now I'm going to do this one over here. So I've done those. I'm going to do that one, and I'm going to use this little bit. It's got a nice piece there. Just trim that off. That's awesome. So next one I'm going to do is this frill. Actually, no, I'm going to do her little pants and her shoes and the underneath, and the last one is going to be that frill, and then I'm going to go and do the hat. So let's do this bit here, and I think that needs to be a darker pink. It can be that blue maybe. So I might use, actually I've got a bit of a square there that'll suit perfectly for that, so I'll just cut the rubbish off it. And as long as I don't go moving it, it's going to stay. It's going to stay. Here's for thinking positive. All right. I think so anyway. Look cute. Now we're going to do her knickers. Knickers, and she's got a little suspender belt. So her knickers are going to be pink. They're going to be pink. Do we do them that pink? So let's use this little bit of pink. I'm also going to use that. I reckon that'd be really cool around her skirt. So thinking, honestly, you will find that once you get into it and you sort of got to get over yourself. I think as quilters or sewers and that, we sort of get this thing where we feel everything has to be perfect, and the reality of it is no, it doesn't. So you need to get past that to start with and really sort of just bite your bum and do it. For the edge of the knickers on there. I might use that in her shoes too. Hold on to it and turn it over. Make sure you don't have a turned corner like I did last time. Like I said, everyone does it at some point. So bonus, some light bits. That one there and that one there. So that's a little bit lighter. I'm going to use those. Just they're within the colour but not too obvious. Alright. Okay. That one. And I'll do this one while it's over, and that one there. Move those out of the way, hold on to it. She's looking cool, isn't she? With her little shoes and her little knickers. All right, so we're going to do this bit here. That'll be done in one piece if I can, and it's going to be done with this. Or it might be two pieces, I think. So I think I will do that bit there and then do this bit. So just trim that up. Just do that. So those girls in South Australia, if you want me to come over there and teach you guys how to do this, you need to get on to Kadena and ask them if they want me over there, and I'll come over and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so that's one. Now I can see that blue behind there. See how you can see that blue? If you wanted to, you could come and do a second layer. So do another one on top, and it would thicken up. And she looks really cute, doesn't she, Shelley? And that would probably cover that. It's a lot, but it's entirely up to you. Other than that, you could come in with the black thread and just put some more lines in there and just give it a little bit more detail. But really, in the whole scheme of things, like, it's not that bad. Or you can cut back further and then redo the lines. It's entirely up to you. I'm quite happy with it. It's no biggie. So we're going to do this part, and we're going to go up to probably here, and then we'll do that bit. Okay, she's looking pretty amazing. I do have to get rid of that thread there. There it is, got it. Yeah, like I said, you bring that bobbin up from the back and bring it up to the top, you'll find you won't have all those little stop starts like I've got. They'll just blend in. Alrighty, so I just need to do the patches on the dress. So I need to sort of figure out where they are. One's there. Actually, there's another one over there and one over there. So if I get a piece that just covers that, and then that should be fine. So we'll just grab a piece of this, and those patches will be different colors. So I need to just find at least one so I know where I'm putting a bit of glue. Just something. In this circumstance, you could, like I say, pin it if you wanted to hold it still, but you just got to make sure your pins are out of the way. You do not want them in your way. If you sew on them, you're going to hurt your machine. So she'll be fine. All right, so that's that. That's her little patches. Now we're going on to the hat. So we need a big piece. So we've got to do this bit first, and then we're going to do probably could do this and this at the same time, and then come back and do that, and then we're going to do the bows. So we need a color for that. Just having a look, see whether that with a darker pink thing might be okay. I reckon that would be all right. Let's give her that color. It's like a light pink, creamy pink, and that just needs to cover both sides of that hat. All right, and the glue, because we want there and along here. There we go. And like I said earlier, those little accents, you know, those little cross hatches that Jaden's got drawn on there, do them last. Okay, they will be last. Yeah, no, yes, it is. Yeah. So it's got a big yellow in it too, which will be nice. All right, so let's trim a nice big size out. Love batik, love it. Okay, because we need to cover that whole area. So I'm gonna do all of them in this one piece and make sure I do the stitching so it'll look like it's in different colors. Because it's batik, it'll give that because it's broken up. So Okay, so we've got to go inside this center bit because I need to cut that away. And I will do a second line on that because it needs it. It has to have it. I have missed it. It's hard to see because sometimes, because if you've been over that area once before or twice before, you can't tell whether you've done it the second, third time around. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't see where you have or haven't been because it's all black thread. Okay. So I'm gonna, and I can do that from the front, I can see what I'm doing, and I can do that from here, and then I'm going to do those crosshatch. I'm going to, there was another one as well here, I'm going to do that crosshatch. I'll do them from the front. Pretty happy with that. That is really, really cutesy. So we do have the thread, because I can do it with stitching. Dampen the brush. Don't need a lot. So color wise, yeah, probably just the white. And that'll dry pretty quick. Even though it's a white background, I'll just put a bit of a white paint over that. And the top and the bottom of the bobbin, I will do in a brown. Yeah, and that won't take long to dry. So that's that. And a little bit of brown. And I'm not adding any water to it. I did dampen the brush to start with, but that is it. And that's that. And that'll get stitched when I quilt it. They're the paints I used. Okay, so they're the ones I've used to paint her face and that. Fabrics I have used from my all boutique ranges that I have. Lots and lots. The scissors I have used the Duckbills. Okay. Gloves. Also the basting glue. It's actually just a so easy basting glue. Any kind of glue that you can move things around with is good. She's so cute. So that is Mrs. Floof. That's one of them. She looks amazeballs. I'm really happy with it. I will do a photo, pop it up there for everyone to see, but I think it turned out really, really cute. So just got to be careful because it's a little bit wet still. Isn't she gorgeous? Hey, I see the painted face. It really helps. Yeah, there you go. All done. I'm impressed. I'm happy. So thank you for joining me, and yeah, thanks guys for your support. And we she does look good, doesn't she? And the next one I'm going to do is this one. Not today though, not tonight, Josephine. That'll be the next. Adorbs. So that's the other part of that. This one is done, so she is ready. She would be cute as even a big pillow. How gorgeous is she? Oh, she's so cute. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Signing out. Bye everyone.